Hi, very good morning to you guys. My name is Mompoloki Makwana, and like you know, we continue with our leadership sessions, and today is day 3, and we are focused on betting on yourself. We are focusing on betting on yourself, and I have found so many messages of people who are saying, "Are we not having a session today?" Now you have programmed to coming up and showing up at 8 a.m. Now people are programmed to showing up at 8 a.m. And that is a very beautiful thing. I'm having so many people who are texting me and saying, why are we not having a message at 8, a session at 8 a.m. now? Why are we not having a session right now? But it's very, very, very crucial today when we go through times like this to be in a position where you are betting on yourself. Betting on yourself. I want you to introduce yourself, where you are watching from. You just want the comment box to tell, okay, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? From day 1, we have talked about a lot. Today is day 6. From day 1, we have talked a lot about shifting focus. We have talked a lot about building momentum. We have talked about shifting your focus and a lot. So right now, we are talking about betting on yourself. Betting on yourself. We are in a position where we are not going to make breakthroughs because of the support system we are relying on. We are not going to make breakthroughs because of the people around us who we are counting on. There comes a point in our lives where the only person who can get you out of where you are, where the only person who can push you to the next level is yourself. We have so many people today who have relied so much on the external stimuli that they have forgotten that they can activate themselves to be in a position of growth. Remember last time we talked about moving from a position of reaction to a position of transformation. We talked about moving from a position of reaction to a position of transformation. Now, that does not happen when you are counting on what other people can do for you. That does not happen when you're still counting on other people to motivate you to do that. That does not happen when you are still counting on other people to influence you on your journey. Everything else begins to change when you move from counting on the external stimuli to counting on yourself. Everything else in your life begins to change when you are no longer doing it for your boss, when you are no longer doing it for your spouse, when you are no longer doing it for whoever in the outside, but not doing for yourself. We tend to be more powerful, we tend to be more intentional, more motivational, everything when we are counting on ourselves. I see how Butsie are watching from Mahalape. Butsie, welcome on board. If you have any questions, write them here. If you have any questions, write them right on the comment box. But if you need any help, like I said from day 1, if you need any help, hashtag help, and then I can call you, and then we can have a conversation to see how we can help each other. If you need any help, you just write hashtag help so that we can talk immediately after the session, whether through WhatsApp, whether through a call, or whatever you prefer. I see Tata saying he's watching from F-Town. F-Town, welcome on board. And from day 1, guys, we have been talking about transformation. We have been talking about empowering yourself. We have been talking about leading yourself. We've been talking about understanding that nothing will change in your life until you make a decision to bet on yourself. Nothing will change in your life until you decide, I am going to do this for me. I am going to show up for me. I am going to execute for me. I am going to go an extra mile for me. I am going to keep on building more and more and more momentum for me. Everything else begin to shift. Everything else get elevated when we are no longer doing it for the next person. When we are no longer doing it for our boss. When we are no longer doing it for our mother. When we are no longer doing it for our kids. As soon as we get in a position to showing up for ourselves, we elevate everything, we change everything. That is the commitment we have to make. That is the position we have to be in. I can see that already. Zamaraga Fore said, Coach, I've been ready by 0755. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being there. I had a lot to do this morning. I had a call that I was on that extended everything, but I am not going to give an excuse. I am going to show up. So every single day, Bukani morning watching from Sibina. Thank you so much for joining us. So nothing happens in our lives until we show up for ourselves. When you are doing it for the next person, it's easy to wake up in the morning and say, I am not going to show up anymore. When you are doing it for your boss, when your boss is not there, you may not show up. When you are doing it for your mother, when your mother is no longer there, you may stop showing up. But everything else in our life begin to change when we are showing up for ourselves. I still remember years ago when I dropped out of school and my parents were saying, please, go back to school. You are a very wise kid. I remember our headmaster back then, Mama Tsaba, at a primary school, Malalata primary school, and she would show up at our place and say, please, Mompoloki should go back to school. He is a very wise kid. And I couldn't listen because I was not willing to do it for them. I was not willing to show up because I saw that it was all about them. Up until people got in a position, they say, this kid will end up in prison or he will end up being killed by other people. They said, this kid, the way he's behaving, the way he's showing up every single day, the momentum he's building is nothing but going to end up in prison or getting killed by other people. Why? Because I was not on the right path. Because I was not on the right lane. I was doing whatever that I can do. I was stealing whatever that I can steal. I was showing up every single morning to do anything that I could see. If I could find any penny, I would take it. If I could find I still remember my late grandfather. He used to have a toolbox where he put his money. I would take the money and run away. I was in a lane of distraction. Why? Because it was all about me and I didn't even care about what was happening around me. So I didn't make any transformation because I felt like I was doing this in order to put my parents in pain, in order to put my relatives in pain. But I was not aware that I was destroying my own future. But everything else began to change when I realized that this is all about me. This is all about my future. This is all about my breakthrough. This is all about my future wife. This is all about my future kids. I don't want them to see me as this kind of person. And then I had to make a decision that I am going to change. I had to make a decision that I'm going to transform from who I was to who I am today. Why? Because I started betting on myself. I started focusing on myself. I started saying, I am going to do this for myself. Yes, already say that is the story in my first book, The Birth of Greatness. So I started giving birth to my greatness because I was aware that no one is coming for me. No one is coming for my rescue. No one is coming to show up for you. No one is coming to give you the promotion. No one is coming to say, we understand you are going through pain. You can take another 30 days. When you are doing it for other people, your boss will keep on showing. Whether you are in pain or not, they say, show up for work. But if you are intentional today, during this crisis, and saying, during this crisis, I am going to build something for myself. I am going to start a new journey. I am going to start a new route. I am going to do something for myself today. You are starting to bet on yourself. Nothing begins to change in your life unless when you start betting on yourself. You are here, and that means you are still in the game. And therefore, you should challenge yourself every single day to show up for you. To show up for you, because if you don't do that, no one will do anything. No one is coming for your rescue. No one is coming to uplift you. No one is coming to say, I understand. You may have people around you in your circle who are always understanding, but there comes to a point in your life when you start cutting off excuses. And then for the process of betting on yourself, number one, you cut off excuses. You are no longer having any excuse why you are not going to be the best version of yourself. My mentor would say to me, there is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. There is nothing that should stand on your way of making your personal breakthroughs, because you are aware that nothing will change in your life until you force yourself to go through the pain. If you want to take the ocean, bend the boat. If you want to take the ocean, bend the boat. Some of us, we keep showing up on and offs. We are not consistent in what we deliver. We are not consistent in what we believe in. We are not consistent on what we keep showing up. And therefore, we must be in a position to cut off excuses. Regardless of what is going on, we must put ourselves under pressure and understand that nothing is going to change if we keep arming ourselves with excuses every single day. Betting on yourself is understanding that if I don't do this, no one will show up. If I don't go an extra mile, no one will show up for me. If I don't put myself in a position to succeed, no one will do it for me. Therefore, you know that if you don't do it, it will not happen. Put yourself in that position where you are bending off the boat and you are taking the ocean. There are certain things we want to show up for. The relationship we want to build up. Some broken trust we want to work on. And unhealed wounds we really want to work on, but they will not happen until we are willing to bend the boat and say, I am going to face this thing. I am going to face these emotions today. I am going to face this laziness today. I am going to face this procrastination today. I am going to face this issue and I'm going to deal with it today. This is the best moment to work on the laundry. Whatever the laundromat you are dealing with, whatever the laundry you have been putting aside, whatever issues you have been hiding, whatever issues you have been avoiding to approach, you must get in a position where you are saying, I am going to approach this. I am going to approach this, because there are certain things that will never give you a breakthrough until you are able to deal with them and get through them. There are certain issues we cannot bypass. Regardless of how much we may ignore them, they will still affect our future even in the next 10 years. But this is the right moment where we must be saying, I am counting on me. And therefore, if there is any issue that is affecting me, I am going to deal with it right now. This is the right time to focus on what you have been trying to avoid to focus on. This is the moment to have that hard conversations with yourself and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have been busy for all these years. Now, what are you doing? Which voice were you operating from? Which ideas were you operating from? Which thinking were you operating from? Who have influenced the way you are seeing life? Who has influenced the way you are doing things? What do you want for yourself? What is it that you want to pay from now onwards? Betting on yourself means throwing away all the excuses we have that we have been armed ourselves with. It means now we are taking control. That's position number 2. Number 1 is about giving up excuses. You are no longer taking anything to arm yourself with in order to face whatever that you are faced with. I see Morulahani Muzola Pile are watching from Gaps. Thanks for showing up. Thank you so much. And then I see Opelo Ndwara, tough, can't hear it, keeps on freezing. Opelo, make sure that after this you access the recorded version. That will be much helpful. And then I see Miriam Kem. He said, watching from Charles Hill. Thank you and welcome from Charles Hill. So, betting on yourself, number 1, it means you are letting go of excuses. Betting on yourself, number 2, it means you are taking control. It means now you are aware that if you don't take control of your life, you are going to lose a lot, because other people may care for you, other people may love you, other people may cheer you, but the only person who can make a difference is when you are in control of your life. Everything else begins to change in your life when you are in control. When you are aware that there is so much havoc in the outside, but I am willing to take care of my internal world, to be peaceful and joyful, and understanding that my moment will come, to understand that my breakthrough will come, and you are intentional in taking control of your life. This is the right moment to take control of your life. This is the right moment to show up and say, I am willing to show up even when it does not seem like I'm going to make a breakthrough, even when it does not seem like my kids will understand what I'm doing, even when it does not seem like my circle of influence around me, they will understand what I'm doing, because most of the time we lose control of betting on ourselves because we are still trying to please everyone else. And to be in control, it means to understand that there comes a point where you don't have to please anyone but yourself. For so much time, for so long, some of us have lost the sight of our destiny because we are busy trying to get everyone on board. For so long, some of us today, We have lost the sight of our destiny, our breakthrough, our promotion, our marriages, our relationships, our businesses, our careers, because we were trying to please everyone around us. And trying to please everyone around us has put us in a position where we are not in control of our destiny. Because now we cannot say what we want to say. We cannot be who you said we want to be. We cannot do the things we really want to. And therefore we are losing control every single day. Betting on yourself means I am going to take control of my life and I'm going to do the things that I want to do. Say the things that I want to say. Because regardless of who is not up with me, I will always be here with myself. You will always be here with yourself. And the best thing that you can do is to show up every single day with the courage, determination, and motivation, understanding that if you are not in control of your life, no one is going to show up to help you to be in control. You need to be in control of your life. You are in the steering wheel of your life. You are the power, house of your dream. You are the man in charge of your dream. And therefore, every single day when you show up, you are not going to allow anything to stop you from being the person you want to be, from being the wife you want to be, from being the husband you want to be, from being an employee you want to be, from being a business person you want to be. Betting on yourself means you are taking against all odds a decision that this is the path that I want to take. I am intentional and deliberate in focusing on this path, and I'm going to make breakthroughs in my life because I am committed to my cause. I want to see those who are saying, I am making a commitment to take control. Say, I am taking control today. I want you to make a personal commitment that from now onwards, regardless of how much is happening around you, you are going to be calm inside. The gentleman said, there's an African saying which says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. I can see Opelon Toari. Yesterday, I managed to pick the pieces and worked on my book again. I had to show up, for no one will do it for me, and I felt so great. Yesterday, I managed to pick the pieces and worked on my book again. I had to show up, for no one will do it for me. No one will do it for you, and no one is coming. And if you keep waiting for other people to show up for you, they may never show up for you. They may never be in a position to show up for you. Remember what I said one of the past sessions we had here. I said, everyone is waiting for someone to show up. Everyone is waiting for someone to show up. If you are still waiting for other people to understand your journey, if you are still waiting for other people to show up for you, they may not show up. And therefore, you must be in a position where you are saying, I am showing up for myself. I see already they say, I'm taking control. Kakawa is saying, I am taking control. This is a deliberate action to say, from now onwards, I am not going to wait for someone to recharge me. I'm not waiting for someone to motivate me. I am not waiting for someone to show up for me. Because if you are still waiting for someone to keep you in the mood, they may not show up. There gets a point where you have to activate yourself, where you have to motivate yourself, where you have to show up for yourself. Because hard times are coming. And like I said, seasons come to pass. As you deal with this season, another one is coming up. As you deal with another one, another season is coming up. And therefore, if you are still waiting for people to say, you can do it, sometimes they may not show up. They may be waiting for you to motivate them. And therefore, you must be in a position and say, I am taking control of my life. I am showing up for me. And every single day, I am choosing to show up with courage, boldness, and greatness, because that's who you are. You have that unlimited potential in you. And the moment when you say, I am in control, I know that things may not be in control in the outside, but I'm in control in myself. I am aware that I have the choice to make a decision on what I choose. That is power. I am aware that today I can make a decision on what to eat. I am aware that today I can make a decision on what to say, on what to do, on what to think, on what to plan. You are in control. When you are aware and you continue to engage your subconscious mind, you're thinking that you are in control. And when you start acting like you are in control, sooner or later you will still surely be in control. So small by small, small steps, great distances. Make daily decisions that are setting you up to being the person you want to be. When you bet on yourself, number one, you kill excuses. Number two, you take control. You say, I am in control. And then number three is about being congruent with yourself. Being congruent with yourself. Betting on yourself means being congruent with yourself. I see what people say, I'm taking control and I want to make those small steps. I believe at the end of it, it shall be a habit. Thank you. I told myself I will do what I started daily to keep momentum. Thank you. And then Murulahani say, I choose to be intentional and to take control of my life. That is a choice you have to make. Every single day, you have the power. You have the power to think whatever you want to think, to watch whatever you want to watch, to eat whatever you want to eat. That is the power, and that means you are in control of the decisions you can make right now and change your life and start betting on yourself. And therefore, number three, you should what? You should be congruent with yourself. Being congruent with yourself means to say what you mean and to mean what you say. To say what you mean and to mean what you say. To say what you mean and to mean what you say. You must be in a position where you are saying the things you want to say and actually doing the things you really want to do. Congruency means this. It means you are in control of your life and you are willing to say your thoughts the way they are, and you are willing to say what you are thinking the way it is. Congruent people are willing to mean what they say, and they say what they mean. There are so many people today, because of the people that are around them, they are not able to express what they really want to do. They are trying to fit into what that circle of influence is doing. And therefore, even when they have beautiful and great ideas, they are not able to share them because they don't want to lose that circle of influence. There are so many people today who have so much potential to change and impact their lives and impact the people around them. But they are not able to do that because the circle of people around them does not allow them to become who they want to be. And therefore, every single day, they are not saying what they want to say. They are not being who they want to be because they are trying to please the people around them. And therefore, you must be in a position, if you want to make breakthroughs in your life, to say, I am willing to share what I think. I am willing to share my thoughts. I am willing to do what I said I'm going to do. I am willing to show up when I said I'm going to show up. And therefore, every single day is a battle. Remember what I talked about. Every single day is a battle. We are in the battle with whatever that we are faced with. And therefore, you must get in a position every single day where you are saying, I am willing to share my thoughts. I am willing to show up every single day. I am willing to do the things that I'm thinking. I am affirming myself that I am great, and every single day I am going to show up with that. I see where I'm starting my day with affirmations and refreshed up in a readiness for this. I'm showing up for my success. No scrolling through my phone in bed. I am showing up for my success. Right. So we need to make a commitment, and making a commitment does not mean we have already achieved what we want to achieve. Every single day is a battle. We need to show up and fight for what we believe in. And therefore, betting on yourself is about showing up every single day with congruency. You are saying what you mean and you mean what you say. And therefore, every single day is a day-to-day commitment to do the things you promised yourself to do. And in conclusion, I'm going to say this. Betting on yourself does not mean fitting in. Betting on yourself does not mean doing it for others. Betting on yourself does not need external motivation. Betting on yourself does not need you to get, affirmation, or does not need you to get confirmation from other people on what you can possibly be. What others say is who they are, and they have no idea of the unlimited potential that lies within you. You are the only person who knows what you are capable of doing. Betting on yourself means now you are gathering all the resources you have, all the ideas you have, all the information you have, all the supportive networks you have, and you are willing to go all in for yourself. You are willing to throw everything that you have been doing in order to pursue your path. I still remember last year around this time, and I was thinking, and I was reading the book of DJ's book, Sold or Sell or Be Sold To, and he was talking about a transition where he was saying, if you have a skill right now, you can work on it while you are still on your job, cultivate it, and make a transition later on. You work so hard until your side hustle pays more than your day job. And it was boiling inside of me to say, I'm having a 9 to 5. I love it, but I want to make this transition to start betting on myself. And around April last year, I had to make that decision that I am moving from this kind of employment to this kind of employment. I started betting on myself. I collected all the information I knew. I looked around the resources that I have. I looked around my potential, my gifts, my abilities, and I say, this is what I'm going to do. I am betting on this. And I started working on it. I started cultivating it, showing up every single morning, working and delivering and cultivating the ideas that I had and building the brand that I am becoming right now. So it's about time to understand that no one is coming for you and no one is going to show up for you. So you must challenge yourself every single day to show up for yourself. And as I conclude, make sure you bet on yourself. Make sure to share this live feed. Share this so that other people can watch. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you show up for yourself. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. Make sure you share this.